As a recent graduate, did your university career service help you understand the importance of social media in finding employment or starting a business?
Yeah, we actually we had a module in our second year at university which was all about social presence and being especially as an artist, because I studied contemporary fine art, to make yourself known through things like having a blog, having a website, Flickr, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. They made it really clear that it was important for us to do that. So we had lessons actually in building a website and website design, and then linking all those things to other social media as well. So I don't know whether it's the same though for other courses. I think specifically as an artist it's important, and as a photographer that's why they were stressing it, but I know that other people in other courses maybe don't get the same amount of sort of good feedback about social media.
So, starting up profiles for your business and going out into the working world for the first time, have you taken any steps to secure your personal social media profiles so that they remain private and not on public display?
Yeah, I thought about it long and hard, because as a photographer, obviously I want to have a relationship with people and be quite personal with people when I'm talking to them. So I thought really, really hard about making my profiles on Twitter and Facebook particularly private. And I decided that I would, and then I'd just create a separate account for the photography, and that way I can filter things. But I still, even though my personal Facebook is private, I still monitor what I say just in case that someone else reblogs it or retweets it or something.
And on a very similar note, when you're actually putting content out there and when you're creating content, do you ever sort of consider what, not just the immediate impact, but actually what the impact may be for employers, say in 10 years' time, if you're applying for a job, that sort of future aspect to it?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think as well, my business is it's changing a lot all the time. And actually what I'm doing now might not be something that I want to be focusing on 10 years down the line. So it's a difficult one. You always have to be thinking, I think, ahead to even 10 years down the line, and what might be seen and what might be read by what you're doing or posting at that time. So yeah, I do think about that.
And have you ever used social media when you've been looking for a job, or when you've been sort of trying to decide on the next step in your career? Have you ever returned to social media as a source of information?
I haven't, not specifically for looking for a job, for looking for clients, it's the only thing that I use, because it's an online business really. I don't get to meet people and talk to people. I don't have an office or anything like that. So for finding clients, it's really important, but not so much for looking for a job myself.
And when you started out with your business, how did you start building an audience? What were the first steps to going out and reaching out to people?
The first steps were I created a website, and then I made sure that I just told everybody I already knew about it. But without being annoying and spamming people, because I hate that, and I think people really hate it. If you're starting a business or you want somebody to look at something you're doing, don't ever spam Facebook or Twitter with it. And then after that, it's just I networked with other photographers, so other people that were doing the same thing as me, and then building up a relationship with them meant that their followers were becoming interested in me, and then that's been the way really that I've built the community for my business.
So when you've built a portfolio, when you've been actually potentially writing a CV, have you ensured that reflects your online presence and what you're doing in the social media?
Yeah, because I think it says, I'm quite proud of it, so why wouldn't I put it on my CV? So I always make sure I link to my website and to my blog and to my Facebook page as well.
So when you find somebody on social media that could be a useful contact, a business contact, or bring value to your business, how do you start a conversation with them?
I try and email them rather than like tweeting or doing a public message, because I like to be quite personal with somebody. And there's always that, again, balance between being professional and personal, because I think people respond quite well to being, if you're friendly. Like if I get an email and it's really stern, then I'm not so keen to respond. So I just send an email and tell them and be honest and just say what I'm interested in, and be enthusiastic about what they do, especially because people like to hear that and respond to that, and then take it from there.
And do you ever sort of, people that you meet on social media, it's a virtual profile, do you ever try and sort of then meet up with them and sort of actually convert that person from a social media contact to a real life valuable business contact?
Yeah, I've when I first started the business, and I was networking with other photographers, we actually got together, a group of us who were all graduates and all new to it, and some other photographers as well ended up coming along who were just friends of theirs, and through that I started second shooting at weddings with those photographers, and then because of that I was getting clients. So that really helped, like actually having a relationship in person with those people, because as well they got to know me and they trusted me, and for my business that's quite important, and so they recommended me to other people. So yeah, that was, I think it's important to do that for my business particularly.
So you work in an incredibly visual, very stimulating sector. How do you use social media to encourage clients and your audience to really share your message, to share the images you're working with?
Whenever I photograph people, whether it be for an event or just for personal reasons or portraits, then I always say to people, please can you leave me a testimonial on either be it Twitter or my website itself, and then if someone does that, then obviously I can retweet it and I can say, oh, thank you so much for the great response. And then because that's again engaging with someone even on quite a low level, it encourages other people to say things about my business if they see someone else has done it. So younger people are better at it because obviously it's a generational thing, but I have managed to get brides who don't use social media to say something nice about me on Twitter before, just by being nice.